It moved with a sickening grace, gaunt, skeletal, and disturbingly fast. Its skin, if it could still be called that, clung like brittle parchment to a frame of exposed bone, revealing every rib and joint beneath. The emaciated form wasn't just grotesque, it was agile, leaping effortlessly between ruined platforms and darting through the shadows with unsettling speed. His head was a hollow mockery of the human face it once wore. All traces of skin and muscle had been peeled away, leaving only the glistening bone of the skull, stretched and warped. The jaw, grotesquely unhinged, now opened far wider than any human should, wide enough to engulf a person's head. And hidden within the gaping maw lay a set of jagged, bone-forged teeth that snapped outward like mandibles, hungry, inefficient. Its hands, once tools of labor or comfort, had twisted into a butcher's instruments. Elongated, blood-soaked talons, perfect for slashing through flesh and bone alike. The creature didn't just hunt, it tore, it ripped, it fed, and in the silence that followed, only the wet crunch of the marrow reminded the living of what stalked them. It begins with a bite, or perhaps desperation, a moment of weakness where hunger wins over reason, and a scrap of flesh, slick with rot and humming with unnatural energy, is swallowed. At first, nothing seems to change. The body protests, of course, retching, sweating, feverish, but that's just the beginning. The true horror is far more insidious. Inside, the infection spreads like wildfire. Organs begin to shut down, one after another, not from failure, but from replacement. The corrupted tissue does not heal for the sake of death. It rewrites. The heart, the liver, the lungs, they're hollowed out and repurposed, turned into something else, something hungrier. The mind begins to slip. Light becomes unbearable, searing the nerves like fire, and darkness becomes a refuge. The infected grows ravenous, driven by a hunger that cannot be named. It starts with scraps, dead vermin, discarded meat, but soon, the hunger turns towards the living. The screams of victims go unanswered as the infected descends, tearing flesh from bone with trembling hands and bloody teeth. But by the time the infection finishes its work, the person is long gone. What remains is a husk, a corpse animated by instinct and hunger. The feeder has been born, a creature cursed to wander in darkness, forever devouring, forever empty. While some claimed it was madness, the insidious whisper of the marker gnawing at their sanity, most knew the truth was far simpler and far colder. The soldiers of the SCAF, stranded in forgotten outposts, buried beneath snow and silence, didn't turn to cannibalism out of madness. They did it because they were starving. Trapped in ice-crusted shelters with supply lines long severed, and no hope of rescue, they faced a choice no one should: die slowly in the cold, or eat the only flesh left in the world, the dead. And not just the dead, but the twisted remains of the necromorphs. They moved like rats through the dark, hunched, twitching, always searching. In the cold silence of abandoned corridors, the feeders can be heard before they're seen. The soft patter of their claws echoing off metal walls as they scuttle about, endless hunting for scraps of flesh. Their eyes are useless now, little more than hollow sockets that flinch at sudden bursts of light. But what they lack in sight, they make up for in hearing. Every creak of a floorboard, every breath drawn too loudly, every metallic clink of a weapon, these are beacons to them. Their heads snap towards the source, and in an instant, the air turns to violence. Startle one, and you don't just fight it, you fight all of them. When a lighter sound shatters the stillness, they erupt from the shadows in a frenzy, their shrieks tearing through the dark as they descend in waves, driven by a hunger that never ends.